All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for tuning in to the Rich CELENZA show. Today I got a weird one, man. And it's something that I used to do in my past and still do to this day. And I don't know why I do this, but I love giving things away. I'm not saying this to make it sound like I'm the biggest giver in the world by any means, or I'm Mr., fucking throw it all away either. But I am here to tell you, one thing I've been doing throughout my life, and I realized that I actually loved doing it and still love doing it, is giving things to people. And, I was always somebody who was afraid to receive. If you gave me something, I'm like, get out of here. I don't want that. Oh my God, you can't get, whatever. I always felt embarrassed if you gave me something. But on the other side, God forbid, I don't care what I'm wearing. If you probably ask any of my friends, family members, colleagues, whoever, if they said, hey, Rich, I like that, I immediately have to give it to them. I don't know what the hell it is. I also, if you know anything about me, I like collecting clothes or certain things. If any of my friends were the same size as me or whatever, I pick up things for them. Or I'll be like, come to my closet. I got sport coats for you that are going to look great now if they got in better shape or lost weight. And I'm kind of obsessed with that. It's kind of weird. I actually haven't been doing it now as much because of the pandemic, so I don't see as many people. But on the other side, I've been having a lot of people giving me things, which has been, unbelievable. And I'm actually thinking about, we haven't released it yet, doing another YouTube channel kind of based on something like this about, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But I'm here to tell you, sometimes the one thing that's kind of missing, I think, in people's lives is bringing joy to others. And again, I'm not talking just about our kids. I get we're always giving our kids shit, right? Our girlfriends, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. Parents, siblings, of course, birthdays, holidays, all that shit, giving. And if you're exhausted from giving, I get that as well. And I'm not telling you to go broke doing this shit. What I'm here to tell you, it's what I love, I think, one of the things I love about having friendships is being able to offer them things. And it can be the simplest things. And I've also been able to finally accept things. And I think this happened not too long ago. A while ago in Long Beach, my buddy, I didn't have any. I lost a pair of shades. I think I lost some Armani's or some shit, or my Pradas. I take that back. I think I had a pair of Pradas or something, and I lost them. And I was kind of miserable in Long Beach, sunny. And my buddy's like, Rich, I have 2 pairs of shades. I said, oh, and I normally do too, and I didn't this time. And he's like, wear these or whatever. And he gave me a pair of Pradas. I loved them, whatever the case may be. Wonderful. Put the Pradas on. I used them. Then I put them away. Then we were sharing. We had a room there, a suite or something. And then he took off before me in the morning, and he left the Pradas, which I was like, are you crazy? What's interesting is then my friend, my other buddy, I have those still. I wore them so much I wore them out, which is kind of interesting. And then my other buddy, Greg, got these. God, what kind of shades were they? They're like $800 shades. And we're all eating lunch. And he came in. And he said, I have a surprise for you. God, what was the brand? It's one of the highest end brands you could get. I can't remember. And he's like, I got a surprise for you. And I says, what are these? I didn't even know what they are, the brand. He's like, well, they're one of the best shades in the world. I'm like, are you crazy? I put them on. I loved them. I even had those for a long time. And I ended up losing them in Atlanta airport with my father. I was upset. But I had them a couple years. But it was weird. It was almost like a back-to-back thing. And I was so appreciative. And I was finally actually happy that I can accept something now without feeling embarrassed. But back to me giving things. If you're somebody out there, if you have friends, people at work or whatever, simple shit goes a long way in life, I believe. My mother's a monster giver. My dad's a pretty good giver too, but my mother's a monster. My girlfriend's a monster giver. They're always picking stuff up for me, sending cards every time they go out. I'm not saying that they have to do that, but it really is, a form of, I think, to a certain degree. And again, I'm not saying you have to do it all the time, but it's just kind of fun. And I'm not saying you got to go overboard with it, but if you have friends or family members or colleagues kind of in the dumps lately, maybe consider, and this could be as simple as just getting them something like their favorite coffee. I don't care if it's a donut. I don't care what it is. It could be a t-shirt. It can be anything. It could be stuff in your house that you don't even want that you know they may appreciate. Because there's tons of shit, I'll tell you right now, a lot of times, like back to clothing, my friends, I may wear something once, or I'll tell you, a lot of times I go consignment shopping or resale shopping, and I find clothes that are brand new, cheap, that I know my friends would like, and I pick them up from, and I bring it to them. It was something I really started in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, when I started to make a lot of money, and I would go out and pick up, well, there was a place in Orlando, Florida that was the biggest gym shoe in the world right outside Florida Mall. And they had a lot of different like shoes lined up. They had new, old, and then they had all different stuff, boxes and boxes. And I'd go in there and buy all gym shoes for my buddies. I knew their favorite brand, their size, and if they could bring it back if they want. And I used to just walk in with a box of gym shoes all the time. And they go crazy. You know, and I had more money then, or I had money to spend on certain things. But my point being is, you know, just me going through that and just experiencing the joy and the happiness of just giving somebody and then them truly appreciating it. Now, they may not even ever use it. It may not be, you know, they may be kind. They may re-gift it, whatever the case may be. I don't know. But I just thought I would bring this up because, just like I said, I think it's something that I've been thinking about again because my buddy was getting married, the one I was telling you about with the Pradas. I still have the Pradas, and we're getting ready to go to his wedding this weekend. I should say last week. And we're going to go for 9 days to Canada. And it got canceled. So I was going to bring him the shades and surprise him. They're all scratched up, but something funny and to look back on. And to make a long story short, I just said, let me do a podcast on this because sometimes I come up with weird shit, but it's really a lot about who I am. And maybe people don't think about it this way, and I just want to kind of bring awareness. I know it may sound like a weirdo thing. And, you know, I also see a lot of homeless out there. I try to give singles a lot of times. Sometimes I have cash. Sometimes I don't, and it's a heartbreaker. And I know we're surrounded more and more by homeless people, and it gets, you know, you're dealing with I used to live in California too. I've had homeless people scream at me, try to attack me, yell at me. Sometimes we get hardened. We don't want to deal with them, truthfully, or we're getting aggravated. We're eating dinner and they're bothering us. It just happened to me a couple days ago. And, you know, I try to give cash to them or just... And it's not, in that case, just I'm bringing this up is, you know, I think sometimes too, if we don't feel like we're always giving, I want to say we feel like maybe someone's selfish. I don't think anyone should feel selfish unless they're truly being selfish. But, you know, just what I'm really trying to say is, you know, if you want to give, give. If you can give, give. All right? And if you can't, I get it as well. So I'm going to wrap it up there. If you get a chance, check out my YouTube channel, Rich CELENZA. I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And thanks for listening. Got any comments or anything? Hit me up. All right? Hopefully my information helps you in one way or another. That's one of the things I love to give is, you know, advice, at least my perspective on what I've gone through and what I've learned throughout my life. So take care.